Hey guys, it's Stephanie from TIGP. Just wanted to continue our Learning from Home series that we're doing on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm going to learn and I'm going to teach you how to make face masks since they're all mandatory through Durham and Toronto, I think through Ontario. I found this really cool print that I can use for my son's face mask, and all I did was I went online and found a pattern, so I printed it off. I'm going to cut this out and then I'm going to cut the material and you'll see step by step how this comes together. Okay guys, so I've pressed the fabric and cut out the pattern. So now what I'm going to do is trace this on here, cut it out, and for this pattern, for this face mask pattern, I will need 4 of these. So I'm going to cut out 4. This is going to make a reversible child's mask. Stay tuned. So here, this pattern here, I've cut out. These were pressed and put on here as a template. So I've cut out 4 because what I maybe forgot to tell you guys is this is going to be a reversible mask. So these 2 sides will go together. Well, you'll see at the end, but it's going to be reversible and it's going to be super cute. I'm ready to start sewing. I'm going to put the presser foot down and make sure that my fabric is just on the outside. It's flush with the outside of the presser foot. So I'm going to go ahead and go forward a couple of stitches, and then I'm going to go back a couple stitches just to reinforce that on there. Okay. Here. I'm going to go all the way down, just the front of the line here. This pattern I will make sure is posted to Facebook as well, so if you like this idea, then you can make it on your own. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Put the presser foot down. This is the other fabric that we're using, the front side. Put the 2 front sides together, leg sides together, and pull with a pin. Put the presser foot down, and away we go. This, I'm going to back it up again just to really solidify that stitch. All the way down along the front to the end, and then back it up again so that we have a good stitch. So we have our pieces sewn together now, one side, 2 side. So now in order for this to lie flat when you open it, you have to cut some little triangles into the curves, being careful not to snip into the stitch. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is snip and take out these little triangle chunks. Being careful not to cut into the stitch that I've just created here at the black line. Just along this curve so that it's not all chunky once you put it back together. Very close. You can stop in the back. Little finicky pieces. So I've made the little snips inside and just turned the right sides out, and see it sits a lot nice, like it sits pretty nice and flat there. And do the same thing with this one. Turn it right side out, and I have it how I want it, like that, nice and flat. I'm gonna iron these to sort of seal the crease. And down this side. You at home probably have more patience with these little things than I do, so I tend to rush, but I've got a good coach that can help me fix things when they go wrong. So these are all nice and ironed now. What I'm going to do is turn this inside out again and put these two right faces together. The right face as opposed to the wrong face. The right face with the right face. Tuck this inside and then sew together. Okay, this is the tricky part. If you can follow along, I hope you can. I've already done it on this side here. I've cut two 4-inch elastics. This is for the child size, so longer obviously. I think it's 5 inches for a small female's mask and 6 inches for a male's larger mask. So between these two layers of material, I'm going to pin, leaving the elastic going onto the inside, because this is all going to be sewn on the outside. So we're going to pin the elastic at the top, leaving some room for a seam. That's pretty good there. And pin. Do it again on the bottom. Reach inside, get that other end of this elastic. And pin down here. Again, leaving some room for your seam. So 2 pins there, 2 pins there, and we're going to sew along the outside, leaving some space at the bottom to flip it inside out. So we'll see what that looks like on me. 2 inches on either side. I'm just going to leave a couple of, a little bit of a space here on either side, because I'm going to sew this all around from bottom to top, all the way around, making sure to go over, back stitch over where my elastics are, because there's going to be a lot of pulling. So I'm about to go over this pin here, indicates this is where my elastic is. I'm going to go over this a couple of times to make sure that that is in there. So right, press our foot down, hold my elastic in there, and then back stitch over it. There's my other piece of my elastic, the other end side. It's a good idea to keep your needle down in the fabric when you want to adjust your presser foot, because that your material doesn't go anywhere. And remember, I'm going to leave a little space here because this is where I'm going to turn it out. Make sure those are tight together. And go. That's it. So here's the magic part. Turn this right side out. It should have a mask. There's my pieces there, and I think we can go ahead and press these sides down again. And you can even go and cut out some of the other fabrics, some of the corners, so that this will lie even flatter. But I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Once I stitch down here, my 2-year-old will have his very own face mask. Double-sided. So here my mask is turned out the way that I want it. There's that hole that we left in order to turn it out right side out. So I've just pinned it. I'm going to iron it, the edges, so that they're nice and clean. And then I'm going to go through and sew that hole up. I'm about to sew up the bottom here, the hole. But to reinforce everything, I'm going to go all the way around, stitch all the way around, and I'll show you the finished product on my mini model.